Good morning once again. Mr. Tabo Maupa again here, security training. Now I'm going to do module 11 titled Basic Radio and Telephone Communications. Like I mentioned yesterday that I'll be doing radio, but I could not do it due to some work commitments. So let's do now basic radio and telephone communications, which is our module 11. It's only 2 to go now, 12 and 13, we're done with it. Then we go to D. I'm doing this for others who didn't see my videos on YouTube, you understand? So that it can also be available like TikTok. All right. So let's look at before we go to the objectives, the reason why they give you this module is because you'll be working with these devices on a daily basis as part of your communication aids. Because we've got two-way radios, something like this. I'm sure you all know these things. You have seen security officers holding these things. Right? On a daily basis. As you go on duty, this is part of the equipment that you use the whole day during the course of your shift. So it has to be with you always. And some like to put it like on the belt like this, so that you can be able to access it without difficulty. This is what we call a two-way radio or a walkie-talkie. It's still the same thing. This is for communication purposes when you are on duty. When you say duty on, write yourself in the OB book. Then the next thing is equipment received from the outgoing shift. Radio is part of it. The same equipment they were teaching us in grade module 9, grade E, underguarding and patrolling, is equipment of a guard, where we've got things like handcuffs, two-way radio, torch, pepper spray, what else? Dog in certain circumstances, firearm in certain circumstances. The radio, this is the radio that we're talking about. Right. Then we go to telephone, landline, business line. There are certain things that you must know that because you'll be using it also almost on a daily basis for communication purposes. So there are certain ways how you must do it. You don't just do it randomly. All right. Let's look now at the objectives of this model. Basic radio and telephone communications. The objectives are, on completion of this module, you, the grade E student, must, with regards to the telephone, we start with telephone. Right. You must be able to demonstrate how a telephone is to be answered correctly. That is telephone manners, right? Or the principles of telephone procedure. That's why you see these people working in the call centers. If any call comes, they repeat the same thing over and over again. Introduce yourself, you greet, introduce yourself, and then introduce your company. Or you can start with your company and then you introduce yourself. Then you ask if you may help them. That is the basic. That's a business line or a landline. Right. We don't use it for any other business except for business purposes. Hence, it's also important. Right. So according to the telephone, which is on number 1 now, you must be able to demonstrate that you can receive a telephone message correctly, right? Which means understanding what is being communicated, right? Number 2, be able to demonstrate how to convey a telephone message correctly, to receive and to convey correctly. You must be able to demonstrate that at the end of the day, after this module. Then lastly, list the principles of telephone procedure, the same ones I was talking about, discipline, tact, and so on. Right, under part 2, which is the radio, the objectives are, you must name the basics of care and handling of radio. There are some do's and don'ts there that you must also know and name them. Then objective number 2 under radio, name the principles of basic radio procedure. RSVP, BES, we're going there. And then lastly, demonstrate how to transmit and receive a single station message on a radio. That is now talking to one person. You must be able to demonstrate how to do it, which is simply taking this one, then I'm using this one. Then this one I give another one who will talk. That's what they are talking about. All right. The aim of this module, importance of this module, the security officer must know how to communicate in the correct way over the telephone to ensure that messages are received and sent correctly. You must be able to communicate correctly over the telephone. All right? And that the messages are received correctly also. That is the aim. Let's check now the principles of telephone procedure we've been talking about. This is the way how you handle yourself, or the way how you perform. These are the guidelines or the principles of telephone procedure. They must be followed strictly. One, discipline. We know what discipline is. You must be disciplined in any job function. Number 2, voice procedure. That's why you see those girls who are working in these entities, they talk with a nice voice. Even if it's a black lady, try to speak like a white lady. That is the voice procedure. You must be nice, you must sound nice. Number 3, transmission of message, which means the way you send a message, it must reach the recipient in the way in which you intended it to reach. And even when you receive, the messages come as they are intended to reach me. That is, the transmission must be clear, accurate. All right? And then speed and accuracy. That's why now we say don't rush. Right? Don't rush the message because the receiver might not understand or might want to write something down. And then we come to number 6, tact, which means the style that you use. The same thing I was talking about, these ladies who use a certain style, professionally. All right? Then we got patience. You must have patience. Don't try to say, I've got other things to do, you're wasting my time. No, you don't do that when you communicate on telephone. And then courtesy, respect that person even if you are not seeing that person in front of you. Respect them, the voice. Right? And then confidence, you've got that energy to show that you are really confident on the phone. You know what you are doing and talking about. So you have to be confident. Then we've got incoming calls. All incoming calls, they must be taken care of. Don't say, no, I'll see it after lunch. Maybe it's an emergency. They need you for assistance. And you are still now going to lunch while people are in danger. So all incoming calls, do not take the phone off the cradle if it's using a cradle. If it's these ones which are like a cell phone, you must always carry it with you so that all incoming calls, even if you are on lunch, take care of it. It might be a very, very serious matter. So those are the principles of telephone procedure. So the question here, which is question 1, it simply is the only question under telephone. It only says list 5 principles of telephone procedure. Just 5 out of the 10. 1, discipline. 2, voice procedure. 3, transmission of message. 4, speed and accuracy. 5, tact. 6, patience. 7, courtesy. 8, confidence. 9, incoming calls. You pick 5, you put there. Right. Let's go now to care and handling of radio. Right. The first thing you must know there is the parts of this thing. So when they say when booking out a radio, check the following things. Antenna, this is the antenna. You screw it out. This is the antenna. Messages come through this thing. If it's not there, they can't come through, or they will be blurry. Right. And then the antenna, you screw it out, you screw it back in. You are now going on duty. This is the things that you check. Because when they say booking out a radio is to write it under your name, under equipment received. Baton, then radio. It's two-way radio, or radio is part of the equipment that you write second. Then you can write in cash, papers, whatever. This is why they say you must check. You might receive it damaged by the outgoing guard who is giving it to you, so that it will be your problem tomorrow. So that's why they say check the following when booking out a radio. After you say you write duty on 6 o'clock at whatever blah 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 site, right? Equipment received. Still under same OB serial number. Then now you start writing now. 1, antenna. You check the antenna I showed you now. And then 2, we've got battery. Battery is at the back here. You can take it out. Here's the battery. Right? Here's it. It fits in here. And the radio number is also there. Alright? Then we've got on and off switch. On and off switch. This is on and off switch. And volume is also the same button. This one. On and off switch is the first button from the right. You see? It can go higher also. But on and off and volume, same button. Right? Then we've got
channel 1.
You see? It's on channel 1. So you check also the channel. As it says. Sometimes it can say
channel 2.
You see? It's about 16 channels on this one. Some got 12 and so on. It's got how many? 15 channels. So it's
channel 1.
very important to select the channel, because why? You'll be operating on that channel. But it mustn't be too loud, you understand? Right. Then you check the volume, on and off switch, the squelch. Squelch is this one now. We're talking about this button. Okay, let me use this one for receiving. Then I'll show you what's the... Right. I put this one
channel 1.
side. Right. So it's on channel 1, this one is on channel 1. So when you want to check, to do a radio check, just to confirm if everything, because we check when we start duty. Radio check, how do you read me over loud and clear, Lima Alpha Charlie, do you copy that over? Copy that. If you are 4 on site, all of you ask each other. That's how we maintain site, with constant communication. Right. So you check now the squelch, which is this one now. This one here. Here. On the left. You see? The squelch is the one that opens the microphone. Then you can talk. Without pressing the squelch, nobody can hear you. You are talking to yourself. Like now, you see? But when I press the squelch, you see? It's communicating. Alright. Then you check the radio number, it's at the back. Then you check overall condition of radio. Doesn't it have scratches? Maybe that guy dropped it or broke it, it's cracked. So all those things you check. That is the condition. So these are the things that you check on a radio. When you book it under your name, to put it under your duty on, right? When you write in the occurrence book, you write also in the pocket book. You must check these things when booking out a radio. Before booking it actually. When it's faulty, then don't take it. Report it to the supervisor, because maybe this one damaged it. You want you to carry the blame. And the blame, they're going to charge you for it. A lot of money, more than the worth. That's how it operates in the security industry. Discipline is on top. All right. So when booking out a radio, check the following: 1 antenna, 2 battery, 3 on and off switch, 4 volume, 5 squelch, 6 radio number, 7 condition of radio, 8 channel. Those are the 8 things that are there. The question now, question 2 says, list 5 things to check when booking out a radio. Then you give those: 1 antenna, 2 battery, on and off switch 4, volume 5, square 6, radio number 7, condition of radio 8 channel. Then you just pick 5 out of them. I hope you understood me. Right. Then now we come to the principles of radio procedure. Principles of telephone procedure. So this is now how you use a radio also. They say the principles of good radio procedure are well defined by the use of the keywords. So it's based on 2 keywords, which is BASS or BASS and RSVP, and must be memorized by every radio user. You must know these things. Right. Under brief, BASS, which is BASS. What does B stands for? Brief, which means message must be brief and only contain important facts. It mustn't be a long thing, it must be brief. Accurate, details given must be clear and accurate, which means exactly as it is. Right? And then the first S for security, it says never transmit classified information unless it is disguised in some way. How do we disguise? By the use of phonetic language or phonetic alphabet. We're going to do that at grade D. Right. And then the second S is for speed. Do not rush the message, but be brief and concise, because the person may not understand if you are fast enough, right? Or someone might want to write something down, so they are slower than the way you talk. Right. And then and that is BASS, the first one, BASS. B for brief, A for accurate, first S for security, second S for speed. Let's go now to the second one, which is RSVP, right? R for rhythm. Rhythm means what? Use short phrases and with pauses. Using short phrases with pauses, you're gonna say Bravo 2, coming for Bravo 1 over short phrase. Then they respond. Bravo 1, this is Bravo 2 and stand by. Send your message over. Okay. Maybe they will say, send your mic. That's how we like to do it in security. We put everything in for phonetic. M, it's mic, which is standing for message. Right. So you use short phrases with pauses. Talk, pause. Wait for the, say over and then wait for the other message to come through. You're waiting for a reply if you say over. All right. So that is the rhythm. And then we come to speed again. The same speed that we had at BASS, the first keyword. We also have the same speed here at RSVP. It means remember the receiver may wish to write something down, so do not rush or may not understand it. That is the S. The V now is for volume. Do not shout but speak slightly louder than normal. Do not shout but speak. Put your voice a little bit higher. And then pitch the voice slightly higher than normal. We don't talk low tone on the radio. No, Bravo 1, coming for Bravo 2 over. Not shouting, but with at a higher tone or note. Right. That is pitch, the voice slightly higher than normal. Right. The question now says, explain the following words, or the following what do they call the first question will the question under this, it will say explain the following words used in the principles of radio procedure. You understand? Then now they will give you the B, nothing is written there. Then you just finish brief. A, then you write accurate. S, the first S for security. The second S for speed. You just filling in, they give you BASS without nothing written there. Then the fifth one, then they will say R, then you write rhythm. S, speed. V, volume. P, pitch. You are done, 8 marks. All right, let's go now to the common words and phrases used in radio communication. These are the words that you use like on a daily basis. If somebody say over, it means I'm expecting an answer from you. If I say out, which means we are done talking, no answer is expected. Roger, message received and understood. SITREP is a shortcut for situation report. Mayday, it means emergency call. When you hear Mayday, it's not only calling the security, it's calling police, disaster management, ambulances, fire brigade. Mayday, it's an emergency call. Right. Then we have say again. If you are not understanding what somebody is talking, if you want to say repeat, you say again, which means repeat your message. Then I say again, it means I repeat my message. Then we've got relay. Relay is like we are three. Put it like in a triangle. Bravo 1, Bravo 2, Bravo 3. What happens now is if Bravo 1 cannot communicate with Bravo 3, Bravo 2 can communicate with Bravo 3. Maybe there's a network problem. Bravo 1 can send his or her message via Bravo 2, Bravo 2 send it to 3. The same thing applies. 3 returns the response, sent to 2, 2 sent to 1. That is what we call relaying a message to a third party. Or pass my message on to a third person. Right. So now we go, otherwise we're done with the principles of radio procedure. Then we did common words and phrases. Now we are going to radio calls. Radio calls, that is now what we call a single call. It's like somebody with this one, somebody with this one. From message from here to here, it's a single call, that one. Then we've got message that it can be broadcast to a lot of stations. It's called a multiple call. Then there's an all station call, which means all the people on the net must respond. Yeah. Then let's go now to do's and don'ts when using a radio. Do's and don'ts, that is also still under the care and handling. There are things that you're supposed to do when you're using a radio. There are things that you are not supposed to do when you are using a radio. That's why they call them do's and don'ts. They are mixed. Number one, do not use abusive language over the air. Hey, fuck you. It's abusive, right? Because now if you say those things, everybody on that network will be hearing what you're saying. Then it's not going to be nice. You understand? It can even lead you to a hearing also if you do those things. Number two, do not play music in the background. What do they mean by playing music in the background? I'm on channel 1, he is on channel 1. I don't have headphones, so I put my phone on loud. Then I play my music near to the radio. He's gonna hear my music. Even if we are a team, the whole team is gonna hear my music. Just press the squelch and put your phone near there. It will go on to everybody who is on the same channel. That is playing music in the background. Then number 3, do keep radio rooms secure. Mostly radios are displayed and stored in the guard rooms or guard houses. So when you sign for it, then you can take it from the charger and use it. If you see battery is low, you come and charge there. That's how it works. So that place you must keep the radio room secure, because if anybody can get access and steal one of these, you are done. You understand? So always keep radio room secure. Right. Use radios for transmission of official messages only. You don't use it for your own private conversations. It's not designed or made for that. That's not its work. It's only for official messages. Right. Do not carry it or swing it by the area. Do like this. You are destroying the antenna. You understand? Do not carry it or swing it by the area. You must always hold it like this. That's why it's got this clip. Put it on your belt. You're done. Right? Don't leave it or put it down in sun or in dust. The sun can also affect it. And the dust can also affect it because it's got a lot of small holes. So, radios, they are made out of copper. as we all know, copper does all the communication devices with the cell phone. Alright. So if dust goes there or the sun heats it up, there's an effect. Protect it against the rain. It's also got water damage just like your phone. Right. Don't play with the battery. Take the battery out, put it back, take it out. Like you got something nerves, I don't know. Because now they're gonna send you a radio message, maybe from Conro or from your colleagues. Then the battery is out. You are playing with it. And if they don't find you, then they are forced to dispatch a supervisor to check why are you not communicating. That's how it works. Right. So the question says list 5 do's or don'ts when using a radio. Ne? Simply 1, do not use abusive language over the air. 2, do not play music in the background. 3, do not keep control room secure. 4, use radios only for official messages. 5, carry the radio in its pouch. They've got pouches, most, but we don't like those pouches because it's got fasteners which are difficult to open when in an emergency. That's why we hang it with this thing on the belt. Right. So don't carry it or swing it by the aerial. Don't leave it or put it down in sun or dust. Protect it from rain. Don't play with the battery. Right. The question was saying list 5 do's or don'ts. It doesn't matter which ones. Only 5. Done. Right. Security of communications. Right. Based on the principle that the enemy listens, every effort must be made to safeguard information transmitted over the air. Examples of information which must be safeguarded are 1, information received from delicate sources, maybe it's a tip-off. 2, in reps or sit reps. Inside reports or situation reports of a classified nature. Right? We must safeguard that. 3, future intentions of operations. We must guard that because it might be compromised. And number 4, movement of bullion and cash, which is things like cash in transit, assets in transit. Right. When we come now to a list of telephone numbers, which must be in your garage. Imagine telephone numbers must be displayed on a prominent area, right? The same procedure which we do in guarding and patrolling. So it must be like in this office, you put it there where everybody can see it. In case of emergency, then they can use that. Right. Use of phonetic alphabet, like I was saying, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, those things. The use of phonetic alphabet when there is a chance of confusion or emergency is very essential to avoid leaking information. The same procedure as used in radio communication is essential. Because now this is about communication, security of communication. Right. Writing messages. When you are writing messages, what do? It is important to record an incoming message using the following. Right. Number 1, date and time of receipt. When you receive that message. Message from who to who. Then you put on the text of the message. What was it saying? Then any special instructions, time, address, etc. recorded by your number and name. That's it. Right. So now speedy and accurate effective communication is the lifeline of a security. A thorough knowledge of the procedures involved is essential in your line of work. So that is where basic radio and telephone communication end. Thank you for watching my video. Later I'm going to try to do basic legal aspects, which is module 12. Enjoy your day. Please keep on supporting and following me. I'm still bringing you more and more. Thanks. Enjoy your day. See you in the next one.